Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm gonna cover 5 things that I wish somebody would have told me when I first got started in content creation. Whether you're a live streamer or whether you just create content on YouTube or you do both like myself, I think these tips will help you out. So let's go ahead and roll the intro and then jump into it. Welcome back to the channel, guys. If you're new around here, I make content around gaming, technology, travel, and the biggest thing I think that has helped me thus far is creating content and tutorials for streamers to try to help them out, which is probably why you're watching this video now. Before I jump into the 5 tips or the 5 things that I wish somebody would have told me when I got started, let me first say that if any of that type of content interests you, go ahead and make sure you get subscribed to the channel by hitting the red subscribe button below and ring the bell next to it. That way you get notified when I post new videos. Also, if this video helps you out, don't forget to leave a like. That helps me out in the YouTube algorithm, and I appreciate it a lot. Also, if you get done watching this video and you want to find a cool community where you can kind of get some support and stuff if you are a streamer or content creator, my Discord is linked down in the description below. We got a pretty cool community over there of people that play games together, support each other, help each other grow. It's really an awesome thing. No thanks to me, it's the community that makes it great, honestly. So again, Discord link down in the description below. All right, with that stuff out of the way, let's go ahead and jump in. So the first thing that I wish somebody would have told me when I first got started is that gear doesn't matter. And I know, you're sitting there saying, I've heard this before, it does matter, I've seen people with better equipment make better videos, and you're right. That's not what people are trying to say when they say that gear doesn't matter. What they're trying to say is it doesn't matter in terms of getting started. Even if you have cheap equipment, even if you don't have the best gear to start, that's not an excuse to not start. You can still produce something, you can still start creating, and even if, let's say instead of a $1,000 DSLR camera, you have a $25 cheap webcam that you bought off of Amazon, you can still learn the skills that will help you create better looking images through the use of lighting and stuff on that cheap webcam that will then transfer when you get better gear. You'll also still learn things like how to edit videos, how to tell a story in your videos. All of those important things, you'll learn those skills as you're getting started, and those will transfer to the better gear as you get it. And you don't need that better gear to start. In fact, if you look at most of the YouTubers that you probably enjoy yourself, or most of the streamers that you probably enjoy yourself, and you go back to the beginning of their content, it would probably shock you at how different it is from the content they're making today. Maybe not in terms of their personality and stuff, but in terms of the quality, the ability to kind of keep things flowing. All of that stuff just takes time, takes practice, and gear is never gonna fix those fundamentals of creating content, whether it's video, whether it's a live stream or anything like that. So stop making excuses, which kind of leads to the second point of this first point, which is there's never a right time to start. So I think the gear thing, really what it comes down to is people are always looking for the right time to start, and that just doesn't exist. There is going to be no perfect time to start. You just have to start, have to learn, have to put in the work, have to slowly upgrade your gear as you make some, money off of your endeavors, all of that stuff. The great thing about becoming a content creator, whether it's a live streamer, a YouTuber, or whatever, is that nowadays in the age we live in, honestly, you can make really good content with just like your mobile phone. I mean, mobile phone cameras have come a long way. As well as computer hardware. Most newer graphics cards, the 2000 series of NVIDIA, the 3000 series, all have chips built into them that even if you don't have a very high spec machine, you'll still be able to stream from that computer. So the technology just is allowing us to get into this space at a much cheaper cost than has ever been able to be done before. So again, you don't need the best gear. There's no perfect time to start. The best thing you can do is just put out that first piece of content and then make the decision to keep doing that. The second thing I wish people would have told me when I got started was that you need to know exactly what you want to achieve before you get started. And I see this a lot with content creators. One of the issues of social media that the world is starting to recognize and starting to become more conscious of and aware of is the fact that it's so easy to get caught up in the likes and the followers that you kind of lose what the actual purpose of becoming a content creator was. Obviously, all of us that are making content would love to make a living out of it, would love to make money out of it. If we're being honest, most humans would love to be rich. And all of those things are possible by becoming a content creator. They're hard as fuck, but they're possible. But more realistically, if before you get started, you sit down and figure out exactly what you want to accomplish in your life, and that doesn't mean that it's set in stone, things can change, but at least having a general plan of what you want to accomplish, how much money you need per month in order to be able to make it a full-time career. Maybe you can cut expenses over here, maybe you can, add different revenue sources over here, whatever that may be. If you don't have a plan, what ends up happening is creators just become so consumed with growth and with getting as many likes or as many subscribers or as many followers as they can, that they never really understand why they're doing it. And if you do that and that becomes the case, a lot of times I've seen then people that just kind of get stuck in this, it almost is like content creation becomes just another job. And that's, I don't think, what anybody's purpose is when they first start off with this. It's most people that do this, I think, are trying to follow a passion, trying to do something that they're going to enjoy doing for the rest of their life, things like that. So just having a basic plan set out, having some basic goals that you'd like to hit, knowing, when is enough, meaning when are you making enough money, when is enough followers enough that allows you to accomplish the things you want to accomplish in life. When you understand those things, then things get a lot easier. You know exactly what it is you're striving for, and most of the time at that point, you're no longer striving for likes or followers. You're striving for specific, attainable goals that then allow you to live the life that you're trying to live. For example, if your only goal is to sit down and be able to play video games for 10 or 12 hours a day, and you don't care about living in a nice house or having a nice car or anything like that, the amount of followers, the amount of likes, the amount of money that you actually need to make is not as high as you would think if you're willing to kind of live on that basic level. But if there's other things you want in life, then that might change for each individual person. So again, the second thing is actually have a plan of what it is that you're trying to accomplish outside of just growing as large as you can possibly grow. The third thing that I wish people would have told me is that you have to be okay with making shitty content. And what I mean by that is nobody becomes Picasso overnight. Nobody turns on a camera and instantly they're making the absolute best content in the world. We've all heard the phrase, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. And that's the truth. It's about the growth process as you start out as a content creator, a live streamer, and you grow and you continue to improve and you continue to get better and you continue to. But the problem I see a lot of new creators run into, which then causes them to quit creating entirely, is that they think that their shit sucks. And here's the truth. 99% of the time it does. But again, as I was saying in the first point, if you go back and look at some of your favorite creators, in the beginning, their stuff was not anywhere near the level that it probably is today. It's just part of being a human. We have to learn things. There was a time you didn't know how to walk, and you learned how to walk. There was a time you didn't know the English language, and you learned the English language. Humans are amazing creatures, and we can learn a plethora of things. But the truth is, you have to start, and you have to be willing, and you have to be unafraid, and you have to weather the nasty comments about how shitty your content is and all of that stuff to get to the point where it then becomes really good content and hopefully one day really great content that people enjoy. There's just no way around that. And so you have to develop thick skin and understand that even if your content sucks, if you're putting in your best work, that's something to be proud of. The process, the journey is something to be proud of. And once you get that understood in your brain, in your mind, then the mean comments no longer bother you that much. So third thing I wish people would have told me was that you got to be okay with making shitty content as you learn the process. The fourth thing I wish people would have told me, and this one is more specifically related to live streaming, and it does kind of go hand in hand with the third one, and that is outside of, you can't be afraid to make shitty content, it's that you have to be willing to stream to 0 viewers and learn how to be entertaining even if no one is watching you when you're streaming. Because if you're just sitting there with the attitude of no one's in my stream, no one's watching me, and you're just sitting there playing your game, when you do have those random people that jump into your stream, that visit your stream, and you're just sitting there like a fucking turd on a log doing nothing, they're gonna just back out of your stream. So you have to learn, you have to develop the skill to be entertaining, even when you have 0 viewers, always assuming that someone's there watching you. That doesn't mean that you have to fake it or anything like that, but what that means is play content, play games that you like playing, live stream stuff that you like live streaming, do things that you enjoy. That way you're naturally having fun with the game, and then just learn the skill of expressing that outwardly. You know how sometimes in a game you might get excited inside, you're like, oh my God, I'm doing great. Just learn to express that on the outside, and again, be okay with streaming to 0 people, because eventually, if you keep at it, you will start getting some regulars. You will start getting some people dropping in. But if you're just sitting there, like I said, like a turd on the log, and I think the expression is actually a bump on the log, but I said turd on the log. But nonetheless, you get my point. And the fifth and final thing that I wish people would have told me when I first got started is your thumbnails, your titles, what game you choose to live stream, your equipment, how shitty your content is, none of that actually matters. What actually matters, and when I say it doesn't actually matter, it does matter, but what actually matters more than all of that stuff when you're starting out, more than anything else when you're starting out, is being consistent. Showing up day after day and putting in the work, because that leads to everything else becoming better in your journey of becoming a content creator. If you keep putting in the work of streaming to 0 viewers, you're gonna get more natural in front of the camera, you're gonna get more better, you're gonna develop those skills of being able to express outwardly your emotions that you're feeling when you're playing video games. You're going to develop editing skills on YouTube if you're continually editing videos. If you're continually and consistently doing these things, you're going to get better at the craft of content creation. It's just inevitable. How much work and how fast you improve, that's entirely up to you. But if you at least stay consistent and keep doing it with at least a semi-desire to get better at the craft, you're naturally gonna get better at the craft. Again, it's kind of just a human thing that happens. We want to improve. We normally want to improve ourselves. We want to improve our crafts. We want to get better. It's kind of built into our DNA. So it will happen if you just make that commitment to be consistent. And I think consistency matters over everything else. If you start creating content and stuff and you find out that you hate it, then by all means, quit doing it. But if it's something that's really your dream and you really want to pursue it, assume that it's going to take you several years to get to a level where your content is good enough, where you're, being able to entertain well enough, and just focus on being consistent and constantly improving little by little by little. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope these tips helped you out. If they did, leave me a comment down in the comments below. If you have any other tips for new creators, new streamers that you think they should, be aware of, that you wish somebody would have told you when you got started, leave them down in the comments below. Let's help each other. Let's continue to lift each other up, help each other grow. Again, if you're looking for a community that tries to do that tries to support each other, I think the one that we're building on Discord does a pretty good job at that. Again, link will be down in the description below. And again, if this video did help you out, maybe share it to another streamer friend. Maybe it'll help them out. Also, maybe leave a like, as that helps me out in the YouTube algorithm. And until next time, peace out, everybody.